This is NBC Journal. I'm Basil Qasim broadcasting from An-Najah National University in Naples, Palestine, and these are the headlines. Mr. Abbas sends condolences to US President for hurricane victims. Israeli police evict Palestinian family from its Jerusalem home. Settlers move right in. Foreign Minister cites progress in US position on peace process. But first, a 21-year injured Palestinian Sunday succumbed to critical wounds he sustained after being shot by Israeli occupation forces at the entrance of Bethlehem refugee camp in early August. Raed Salhi, 21, was shot numerously by Israeli occupation soldiers in the abdomen, kidney and thigh areas and was left to bleed helplessly on the ground for hours before being transferred to hospital. Salhi was taken to Hadassah Medical Center inside the Green Line in a critical condition where he remained on ventilator support until the time of his death. Isa Qaraka, head of the Detainees Affairs Commission, held Israel fully responsible for the death of Salhi, accusing the Israeli occupation of executing Salhi by live fire at point blank. Israeli police forcefully evicted early Tuesday a Palestinian family from its home for decades in the occupied East Jerusalem neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah and allowed fanatic Jewish settlers to move right in. He said a large police and border police force raided the neighborhood in the early hours and forced the Shamasni family, which has been living in that home since 1964, to leave it. Police then escorted a group of settlers as they moved into the evacuated home. An Israeli court had earlier ruled that the Shamasnis should leave their home and turn it over to the settlers following a lawsuit claiming that the home belongs to Jews. President Mahmoud Abbas on Tuesday sent his condolences to US President Donald Trump for the victims of Hurricane Harvey that hit the state of Texas. He expressed his sorrow for the victims and said he stands with the United States in this calamity, wishing quick recovery to the injured. Palestine Liberation Organization (PLO) Secretary General Saeb Ariqat said Wednesday that he had raised in his meeting on Tuesday in Ramallah with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres the importance of preserving Item 7 of the Human Rights Council on the impact of Israeli violations on the human rights situation in Palestine as an important tool to hold Israel accountable for its systematic violations of international humanitarian law and UN resolutions. Foreign and Expatriates Minister Dr. Riyad al-Malki said on Tuesday that there is some progress in the US position regarding the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. The Palestinians have been complaining that after more than 20 meetings with the US peace envoy Jason Greenblatt, the US has not yet stated a clear position on the two-state solution and Israel settlement activities in the occupied territories. The Palestinian government slammed on Monday the currently growing Israeli settlement activities in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem, saying this could undermine any chance of reviving peace talks. Spokesman of the government, Yusuf al-Mahmoud, said these settlement activities aim to obstruct international efforts to revive peace talks between the Israelis and Palestinians. He blamed the Israeli government for any serious consequences that would arise as a result of this increase in settlement expansion. Peter Maurer, president of the International Committee of the Red Cross, arrived in Gaza on Tuesday, the first leg of a three-day visit to the Palestinian territories and Israel. Maurer, who entered Gaza through the Israeli-controlled Eretz Beit Hanun crossing, is expected to get a first-hand look at the dismal humanitarian situation in Gaza, which has been under Israeli siege since 2007. He is also expected to visit the West Bank and meet with Palestinian officials and Israel, where he will meet with Israeli officials to discuss various topics of concern to the ICRC, according to a press statement. Maurer will conclude his visit with a press conference that will take place on Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the American Colony Hotel in Jerusalem. On the ground, Israeli occupation forces early Monday pre-dawn shot and injured a Palestinian young man after they raided the village of Beit Rima to the northwest of Ramallah in the West Bank. The forces opened fire at the young man, who was not yet identified, injuring him in the thigh bone. He was moved to hospital for medical treatment. Army forces also arrested another young man in the village during the raid. Not far away, clashes on Sunday broke out between Israeli occupation forces and Palestinians in the town of Zababda near Jenin. Forces used rubber baton rounds, tear gas canisters and stun grenade against Palestinians. However, no injuries were reported. Meanwhile, a 14-year-old Palestinian was detained in the nearby town of Musliya. Israeli occupation forces early Wednesday morning shot down a metal workshop in the town of Arabi to the southwest of Jenin and seized the equipment of 3 other workshops in the area. Palestinian security sources told Wafa news agency that Israeli forces shot down a metal workshop belonging to Mustafa Sadiq Arda, a local resident of Arabi, and confiscated equipment from 3 other metal workshops in the town. Also, Israeli occupation forces on Thursday seized toys during a raid into Beni Naim, a town to the east of Hebron in the southern West Bank. Israeli occupation forces raided the town, ransacked toy shops and seized bead guns, paintball guns, fireworks and laser pointers, citing lack of permits as a pretext. The commander of the military forces blasted a statement at the shop's doors banning the possession of such toys, which he said could be used by terrorists who threaten the security in this area. Local officials said that Israeli forces on Tuesday notified Palestinians of their intentions to destroy the water pipeline providing services to residents in a locale near the village of Duma, south of Nablus. Ghassan Douglas, monitoring Israeli settlement activity in the north of the West Bank, said forces handed residents notices informing them of their intention to remove the water pipeline, the sole source of water for that area. There are only 14 families living in the locale. Coming up next, Amjad and his updates from An-Najah National University. Please, Amjad.
Thank you, Basil. Head of Erasmus National Office visits An-Najah. On Monday, August the 21st, Professor Maher Al-Natche, acting president of An-Najah, received a delegation from Erasmus National Office to monitor the progress made on the Transforming Assessment Practices in Large Enrollment First-Year Education project funded by Erasmus Plus for the benefit of 5 Palestinian universities and 4 European partners. The presentation and discussions focused on the level project achievements and on the partnership agreements, as well as the progress made on ATAP by the Palestinian and European partner universities. The meeting aimed to monitor the progress made on each work package and to present timely recommendations for improvement and for addressing challenges for producing quality outcomes. An-Najah holds the second consultative meeting on the entrepreneurship project on Monday. As well, An-Najah National University held the second consultative meeting on the entrepreneurship project at the Scientific Center's conference room in the new campus. An-Najah is the partner in this project, along with a number of other Palestinian universities. The meeting was attended by representatives of British home universities, namely Salford University, Coventry University and South Wales University, as well as representatives from the British Council. The meeting aimed at discussing the project's implementation methods. The project organizers hope to develop the university's strategies in terms of entrepreneurship and involve the youth more in such activities. An-Najah professor makes a research visit to the UK. Dr. Amira Shaheen from the Department of Public Health at the An-Najah's Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences made a research visit to the UK over a month. During her visit, Dr. Shaheen enrolled in a training course titled Qualitative Research Methods at the University of Oxford over a week. She also held successive meetings with partners of a joint research on assessing the health system response in developing countries to violence against women. The joint research is funded by the UK Medical Research Council. During the meetings, Dr. Shaheen discussed possible means of cooperation with the University of Bristol and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in terms of population health research. It is worth mentioning that the University of Bristol granted Dr. Shaheen an honorary position of Senior Research Associate. An-Najah celebrates the graduation ceremony for the summer course graduates. On Monday, August the 28th, and under the patronage of President Mahmoud Abbas, An-Najah National University celebrated the graduation ceremony of the summer course graduates, including the 15th and the 37th cohort of the Hisham Hijawi College of Technology and the Najah National Community College graduates. The event took place at Hikmat al-Masri Amphitheater in the new campus, where Professor An-Najah extended his greetings to the Palestinian government headed by President Mahmoud Abbas and Prime Minister Professor Ramil Hamdallah, where he thanked them for supporting the university. Professor An-Najah then congratulated the graduates and their parents and wished them a bright future and a life filled with achievements. On Sunday, the 27th, An-Najah National University organized the second annual reunion for the graduates from 2001 till 2010. An-Najah is the first Palestinian university to bring together its alumni where they can meet and recall happy times they spent together. At the end of the event, I had a short interview with Dr. Sami Al-Kilani to give more details about his reunion.
The Association of An-Najah alumni and An-Najah National University had organized this event as an annual event to meet with the graduates of An-Najah National University in a gesture that the graduates, the alumni, are in continuous contact and relation with their university. We hosted this about 1,000 of our graduates who celebrated their relation with the university and met with their classmates who were graduated since more than 10 years. An-Najah University is proud with the graduates of its different majors who are now working in different places in the world and as academics, as economists, in all fields. So we are very proud of our graduates who continued with the relation with their university and like to come back to the campus.
And back to you, Basil.
Thanks, Amjad. And now we have Lena here with her news from around the globe.
Thank you, Basil. Thanks to an outburst from the sun on Labor Day, northern U.S. states may be in for a light show late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. On Monday, the surface of the sun erupted into a small solar flare and burped out a cloud of high-energy particles. This particle cloud, called a coronal mass ejection, is traveling at about 200 miles per second and should arrive at Earth on Wednesday night. When it does, those particles will encounter our planet's magnetic field, get shuttled toward the north and south poles, slam into atmospheric gases, and trigger an unusually south-reaching aurora or northern lights. Scientists have never fully understood what drives whole pods of whales to beach themselves in mass strandings along the world's coastlines. But it's possible that impetus may not originate on Earth. The same phenomenon that produces spell-binding aurora like the northern lights could also be triggering mass whale strandings with powerful solar storms causing disruptions in Earth's magnetic field that threw off the animals' powers of navigation, according to a new study. Archaeologists have come across a vast network of underwater ruins making up the ancient Roman city once known as Neapolis, which was largely washed away by a powerful tsunami around 1700 years ago. The dramatic deep sea find includes streets, monuments, and around 100 tanks used to produce garum, a fermented fish sauce that was a popular condiment in ancient Rome and Greece, and is likely to have been a significant factor in the Neapolis economy. Scientists are offering a $1 million prize to anybody who can solve a complicated twist on a classic chess problem called the Queen's Puzzle. The beauty of the challenge is you don't even really need to understand the rules of chess to take part. But that doesn't mean it will be easy. In fact, the researchers say the solution is so mathematically complex that finding it could take thousands of years. The 4th International Conference on Quantum Technologies held in Moscow last month was supposed to put the spotlight on Google, who were preparing to give a lecture on a 49-qubit quantum computer they have in the works. Quantum computers are considered to be part of the next generation in revolutionary technology devices that make use of the odd in-between states of quantum particles to accelerate the processing power of digital machines. And back to you, Basil.
That's it for today. Join us next week, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.